grateful. Blessed to be here. All right, they're always quiet. Oh, new battle pass. Okay. Okay, Cerberus. Oh, baby.
Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah,
It's
see,
time
they're
for
always
the
so quiet.
Olympia update show.
we
I'm
go.
Agro. I'll be your host today.
Wow.
And this is going to be a big one. This is a extra thick packet for this update show today.
You're an
Tons of
extra
different
thick
updates
packet.
for a bunch of different game modes. We've got some spicy balance changes that I think a lot of people
that was
will be
a
excited
very
about.
good
And we've
Cerb
got
skin
13 skins to show you guys. 13 of them.
That's a lot.
And they're all nuts. It's crazy. This is going to be an
Probably
absolutely
not
amazing
all
update
nuts.
show,
Don't
so
lie
make
to
sure you
me,
stick
Aggro.
tuned. And let's get to some of those skins right now. We can show you the card arts. We're going to go in depth with a bunch of these later on, but again, 13 of them. So let's get started. We're going to start off with Warmaker Vulcan. This one, it has a cool backstory that I'm going to read in a weird voice later on. Power Surge Awilix.
Okay.
This one you should be excited about because
That is cool.
Suku's got a new look in some ways.
Ooh, is that a motorcycle?
Data Dealer Daji. Warmaker Cerberus, one that was teased on
Oh,
Twitter.
God, that
got a
looks
lot
so
of hype
good.
for good reason. Prince of Darkness Hades. Very cool.
Oh, that's
Luminous
the human Hades
Bastet.
skin.
We've got Touchdown Vamana, who I just cannot wait to see the animations for.
That's going to be sick.
Freedom Overload Poseidon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got one of those.
Yep.
Cove Queen
Okay.
Nuwa. One that's been
Yeah.
very highly anticipated. A skin for Hunbats. It's Howler Demon Hunbats. We have Unichrome set to
Cool.
show you today. Pendragon
Cool.
King Arthur.
Wow.
And
these
one
are
that
actually
I'm very
good.
excited
These are all
to show you
very
guys as
good,
well.
except for that one new
Sashimi
skin.
Nico Bacchus.
I take it back. They're
He's
pretty
so
much all awesome,
chunky.
Aggro. You were right.
In just the best
I'm not
way.
sold on that new skin, but that's about
We've
it.
got a lot of good stuff, as if you couldn't tell that by just the card
Wow.
arts. Again, we'll be going more in depth with those a little bit later on. We're also going
They
to try
want
something
your
a little bit
wallets.
new for the skin segment, so we're excited to show you that
also
to
kind
you
of dark
and
where
see if you
you
guys
are,
like it.
Aggro.
But
It's a
first,
little bit dark.
we've got a million different changes coming to any game mode you play at home, and for that, we've got Hindu and Pon standing by.
It's a little bit.
I wish he wouldn't have turned around and said that.
Better
Pon, that it was
lighting.
gonna be
Better
every single
lighting with
game
him
mode.
too.
But we'll find out if it is in the patch notes. It's going to be a bit of an extended one this
Okay.
week, so expect me to talk very quickly. If you really want the nitty-gritty of some of these details, check out the patch notes afterwards. We'll try and get through as much as we can.
Let's get
Introducing
it.
now the usual Pon.
Oh my God,
They allowed you on the
Pon!
show naked.
Yeah, it's really weird.
What happened?
Yeah, Pon looking cute,
well,
dude.
I had this thing growing on my face. And
Yeah.
it was,
Pon
it was,
looking like a
making
snack.
me make weird decisions, and so now I've shaved it, and it's all gone.
So you're saying the balance
left me.
previously was really good because you
Can't
had
avoid me
facial
that
hair,
time.
and now the balance is
Got
going to be
him.
bad.
Didn't move
We'll
fast
see
enough.
it when we get to the
Didn't
final
move
God
fast enough,
balance.
dude.
You guys decide today, okay? Let's go with that. Start things off then with some bug fixes, and we're going to try and go through as many of these as we can. UI bug fixes first of all. Fix an issue where God rank leaderboards were not shown on console. Fix multiple issues where the profile page, where it would behave strangely when receiving private messages or interacting with the friends list. Fix an issue where your worshipper menu would not display accurate stats. Fix an
Good
issue
bug
where
fixes.
voice indicators would not display when a player was speaking in a match lobby.
Yes.
Fix issues while with
That's
selecting
actually
skins
a
in the
big
match
one
lobby.
for streamers.
That's
to
UI
be able
bug
to
fixes
mute the
number
right
one. As you
person.
can tell, I'm going quick
everybody.
because this is a lot of stuff to cover this
Yes.
week. Moving on, though, we're going to Neef next, and there's a fix an issue where Neef's ultimate would not clearly display the marked FX and the
There was
projectile
some
effects in
skins that her
some
ultimate was
situations.
invisible.
fix.
King
That's a big
Arthur.
thing.
Fix an issue where King Arthur, I think this one's more important. Fix an issue where King Arthur could cause opponents to become untargetable for the rest of the game.
Yep.
This was actually fixed on the 10th of May, just so you all know
Yeah,
before
we
you open play by
hotfixed.
now.
We hotfixed that, and we haven't seen reports of it since, so it seems like it's fixed. If you run
Okay.
into it, let us
That's
know.
a pretty
We'll make sure to get the match lobby
big
information
bug.
to make sure it's fully fixed.
Go test out King Arthur some more. Sylvanas fix an issue where Wisp's particles FX would replay
That
and
one would be
persist on
annoying.
gods longer than intended.
Like all
and the
game
Morrigan
long.
fix an issue where the god could cause spectator mode to crash.
We did it.
I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, never. It's not happened once.
So
Did you really
you
fix
sure
it?
it's sorted?
Come on, Pon.
We seem pretty confident. There was a pretty good repro for it. That repro has
Okay.
been quashed, so Morgan hopefully fixed.
Okay.
We'll find out if I'm apologizing
Hopefully
in a
being
week's
the
time.
key word on
And also, we
Morgan.
released a build today that we think will fix lobby chat issues. If you are still having problems, let us know. That's what I've got a little note there
Yes,
to mention.
this one has been
on
tough
that.
to fully find and resolve, and so we believe we have it fixed, but if it's not fixed, if you're still experiencing it, let us know so that we can find more information and try and dive deeper into fixing it.
Or do what I do and don't play with people, and then you don't have to talk to them.
One way to do it.
Just
I
treat,
guess.
One way to
treat
do
everyone
it.
in the game like an AI.
It's a
you
valid
know?
strat.
It does
One way
work.
to do it.
Moving on, though, to Project Olympus next up. And we're going to start off with general increased duration of text chat and VGS text on screen from 3 seconds to 10 seconds.
Yeah, you would spend 20 seconds typing your message on console chat, and then it would just disappear 3 seconds later. You're like, oh, okay, I spent a lot of time for that.
Oh, I guess it's a console thing because you can't see the chat.
Yeah, it was something that was shortened at some point, and we didn't really fully understand why, and so now we made it one longer just so that people can actually see all the information on screen. It doesn't disappear too fast. Also make sure that people who are spending time typing messages have it actually read by people and it doesn't get missed.
Neat. So I can BM people and they've got more chance of seeing it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, that's what it's for.
The win. Godlike Chess will no longer provide team boosters unless the player owns everything else.
Yep.
These chests now have a larger pool of possible exclusive skins. So side note here, Triumphant and Enigma chests will now include all recent God emotes, is what I've got there as well.
Just making sure the chests feel good.
Yeah, there's a couple of mentions of it in social media just recently, so no real surprise to see us looking in that direction.
Yep.
Cool.
Kukulcan is next on this. I'm not going to go too in-depth here because this is a ridiculous amount of text, but what are we doing?
Just a lot of... So Kukulcan was on the list of gods with Xingtian and Naja for a bug fix pass. We recently did Xingtian, and people seem to be enjoying that. Kukulcan's next on the list, and so we're addressing some major things like some audio cues not playing when they should be playing, some animation clunkiness that was happening where you'd cast abilities right in between transforming, and you'd kind of get the animation off, but it'd get interrupted. Now it makes sure to play all the animations properly, as well as if you are about to transform and you're casting ability, let's say your leap, it will resolve properly, and then you'll transform. In the same way that if you're casting something in Berserk form, it'll resolve first, and then you'll de-transform.
And on top of that, we also adjusted some UI changes in this too, just to make it display a little bit better for you guys at home.
That's how
So read through all that if you want to. I'm not going to go into detail, but we basically gave you everything that's going to be involved there. Nice quality of life stuff for Kukulcan.
Yep.
Good.
Game mode balance is next up, and we'll start off with
mode.
Conquest, and a heated one, so to speak, in the enhanced Fire Giant. It's now going to appear at 30 minutes into the game, up from 25 minutes. We've also reduced the bonus physical and magical power that Fire Giant gains when it becomes enhanced from 20 to 10. And not only that, in Conquest, the Primal Fury is now going to provide 7% reduced damage from jungle camps and jungle bosses. Fix an issue where the Primal Fury buff was not increasing damage against jungle bosses as much as intended.
Yep.
So the Primal Fury thing, real quick, that is going to be 7% damage reduction, 7% increased damage to jungle camps.
Correct.
Per every one you take.
Yeah, so the first one will be 7, next one will be 14. And that was largely done to make sure that the Primal Fury,
So did they just say it's both?
Felt impactful.
Right.
The Oni Fury, you had these giant
Did they say it's
pushes
both?
and
You
could
get
really
7%
pressure, like,
increase
they had to make a
and
choice between defending
decrease?
Fire Giant or defending their Phoenix that might fall.
Okay, that's really
and so we
good,
just wanna make
actually.
sure
That's
Primal
good
Fury
now.
is
I was about
on
to
par
say, if
with
it's
that.
just
And the enhanced
7%
Fire Giant
reduced,
as well,
then
that's
it's
just going to be
still
pushed
not
back
that
5
good.
minutes in the
Both is
enhanced
good.
spawning one. So
That's
still
a
Fire Giant's there
good
at the
buff
usual
now,
time,
finally. Good.
but the enhanced version is just delayed an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, there were
Because it
some
was
weird
the worst
situations
gold
where
tier
you
by so
had a
much.
lead, but you didn't have enough of a lead, and like right as you're about to get ready to go take the Fire Giant, it would enhance, and then it would basically stall the game an extra 5 minutes. You want to make sure that teams have an advantage. They've built one early lead. They have the opportunity to go for the Fire Giant and take it, and it was just enhancing too early and becoming too difficult too quickly.
Cool.
At 30 minutes, you'd already have enough items that
I
even
like
if
all these
you're more
changes.
even, you can probably actually tackle the enhanced Fire Giant, so you feel
Interesting.
comfortable moving that back to 30 minutes. And largely, we want to just be careful with these changes because this has been something that the pro scene has been talking about a lot, and overall, it seems like the Fire Giant fights and the trades and the things that go on between it are actually pretty exciting, and teams have been having to adapt to it. But in some cases, it might be too punishing, and so we want to take light steps towards making the Fire Giant a little bit easier to manage. We don't want to go too overboard.
Okay, well that's it for Conquest, but ranked Conquest, we're going to do some changes to, well, ranked play, I guess. Increase the MMR difference between players allowed for duo queue, from 200 to 300 for players below Diamond rank, and from 50 to 100 for players of above Diamond rank. So basically it was 50 before, and now it's going to be a little bit of a broader window. Also fix an issue where players' MMR would change too quickly if their first few matches after a soft reset.
Yep. And so with MMR being visible as well as duo queue coming back, we've actually seen ranked population kind of rise and stay risen. And so with that, one, we can make the duo queue bands a bit bigger, so players are a little bit more forgiving in who you can actually party up with. Players don't get knocked out of your range too quickly, as well as just in general, we're taking a lot of data that we're getting from people actually being able to see their MMR and make determinants of how their match quality is and sending us that feedback. And from that, we're also making some changes to how we handle soft resets. And we're going to continue that going forward, seeing what issues arise, make sure players feel like every match is fair, and do any tweaks that we can.
Next up then is Arena, and that's going to be to do with the Minotaur.
Right.
Obviously it existed, but did it really do anything? I think that's what the changes are trying to do here, is make it do something. The Minotaur increased health per
I have
minute
no
from
idea what the
20 to
Minotaur is in Arena.
150, and increased
There's a
physical
Minotaur
power
in
from
Arena?
50 to 125. Also increased the physical power per minute from 0 to 40. Not only that, in Arena, we're also going to decrease the crowd sound FX volume, finally.
Yep.
Decrease volume on
Finally.
Minotaur spawn and death sounds, and decrease portal ambient noise sound effects volume. Arena, Minotaur change, it's just for quality, right?
Yeah, it was a thing we added, and it never felt threatening that it could attack, which was one of the unique things it could do. Now this is going to be more threatening. If you're trying to tank in the early game, it's
Am
going to be a
I
bit less
the
impactful.
Minotaur?
As it scales, it's actually going to scale with the game better, so that doesn't just become something that you just immediately kill.
Gotcha.
Overall, just changes to make sure that the Minotaur felt like a reasonable objective.
Oh, that's the thing that spawns
Next
every
up,
10
jungle
kills?
practice.
Oh, okay.
For all
I know
you
what that is.
testers out there. Players queuing together can now pick duplicate gods, so you can both
Interesting.
pick Odin. Players now move much faster while in the fountain.
Yep.
After that, go on,
Oh, that was just like, it's fun to room in the center to get to where you need to go in the map.
be quicker.
Okay, then.
It's a test map anyway, right? So it's much easier to get around. Assault, next game mode up.
Ooh,
there is
this
no
will be
longer a
interesting for Assault
ledge for the
players.
fountain, and it now sits flush with the ground. Players can now walk back onto the fountain, but regen and bind capabilities will still follow the same rules. Is this just to avoid some of the issues that you can get when you're jumping off the ledge?
Yeah,
Because I
there
know
were-
there's a few characters that struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, there was always a few characters that had some issues with it, and it really wasn't until Yorm where like that became to a point where it's like, okay, we largely need to resolve this, and
That's
changing
funny.
how fundamentally players move with verticality is a lot trickier than lowering that assault portal.
Makes a lot of sense. So I saw a little bit of a change there for that, but also vital
like,
orbs.
yeah, we don't wanna
those
deal with
healing
all that.
orbs that are actually on the map decreased the number of orbs that can spawn on the map from 6 to 4.
That's probably
and
good.
relocated 2 of the 4 that remain. All orbs now spawn at 60 seconds, regardless of if any towers are destroyed.
Okay.
And finally, the last thing on the list, for all you assault mains out there that have been complaining about it, Baron Samedi now counts as a healer.
As he
Praise
should.
be.
Yep.
As he
Which actually will
should.
affect his win rate because he was often not fight. He would be picked and didn't necessarily have to deal with a healer on the other team.
Because he's OP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that
That's
goes.
funny.
And then vital orbs, we're continuing our balance adjustments.
Those
to make
seem like
sure that
good
those
changes to
feel
Assault.
fair. They
I don't
don't
really
feel like
play
they snowball
Assault,
the game
but
too
from
much.
the complaints
We've
that
seen
I
a lot
hear,
of
that
people
sounded
have
pretty
a lot of
good.
discussion. Some really like it. Some really dislike how snowball it creates.
Yeah.
And I think there's a middle ground that we're trying to find to make sure that that feels good.
I actually didn't realize it really was every game mode that's getting touched there, is it?
No, it's actually every game mode.
I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
wait a second.
Okay.
No, we literally hit every single game mode.
So that's Assault. Moving on to Joust then.
Okay.
Adjusted the Bull Demon King so that he continues to move and attack more smoothly. This should make him much harder to kite. We've also increased XP gained from small tigers from 50 to 75 XP per tiger. That was 100 to 150 for the entire camp. And the blue buff camp, Turtles, now use melee attacks.
Yes.
Instead of range.
Melee.
attacks.
No more range?
Yeah, range jungle camps are frustrating to fight. Melee ones are more fun to fight.
Well, I
Okay.
guess the dual stuff is
Why
going
do
to be
they keep
similar,
showing
right?
this
I guess.
picture?
Duel is similar, but it has some unique stuff. to
Keep
it, though.
showing that
Duel.
picture.
Titans in Duel only now deal 50% damage to enemy gods only. Players, gods only rather.
Yep.
They still deal normal damage to minions.
Correct.
Decrease Titan HP for Duel only by 25%. Percentage numbers are relative to the normal
What?
Joust Titan stats.
Yep.
And inherits these changes from Joust.
The previous ones we
right,
discussed.
So the
Did
Bull
they
Demon
just-
King and all the
Did they
camps
just make
change
the
as well.
Titan
in
a
Ju- in Duel.
pushover?
Yeah, in Duel there are some situations where you were too easily able to just camp your Titan and then look for like one kill
Yep.
where they were trying to end the
Okay.
game and then hard swing it back the other way. We want to make sure that if the person has a lead and they're really trying to end it, they have a lot more capability to actually end it.
Interesting.
Just Titan camping in general getting weaker this patch.
Clash up next.
I don't
Generally,
have
the
a
blue buff
strong
camps in
opinion
the
on
center
game
of the
modes,
map,
not
they're the ones
Conquest, so.
between your towers, basically,
I don't know.
have been changed to red buff camps. These camps now enhance at 10 minutes and not 5 minutes, which it was
Yep.
previously. Jungle monster balance decrease base health, protections, and power of all jungle camp buff holders. I actually just think that was just something that was passed along to Clash and that was never updated.
It was unique stats and they got really tanky.
Yeah, they were
like
rough.
you would go fight them after they enhance and they might solo you if you weren't expecting it. So now they're more reasonable to fight players. They're still more difficult
guess
once they
Clash
enhance,
camp
but they're just more
nerfs.
reasonable to fight against.
So,
And Apophis balance as well on this map. Apophis buff, normal and enhanced. This effect now deals true damage instead of physical damage. Updated the visual effects of this effect. And now restores 0.8% of your maximum health every second. So that's 4% of your HP5. And now restores 0.4% of your maximum mana every second. That's 2% of your MP5.
Yep, we're largely just trying to make sure
Okay.
to resolve all the. Oh,
I don't know.
I think we have enhanced as well. Oh no, already went over it.
Nope, already done that one.
Either way,
sure.
the whole goal of Clash was really, it had some odd pacing things. Things enhanced really early, where like
You're never gonna get it,
really got
Devil.
to
You're
experience
never
the
gonna
base
get
version
it.
of the buff. The red buff would disappear, which is a large enabler for players to end the game, take Phoenix objectives, take the Titan at the end. And then Apophis didn't feel like a worthwhile buff to get because you often you would get it and then you'd be so hurt that you wouldn't be able to actually take any advantage and push, which some of the Fire Giant kind of solves by allowing you to regen. So you take some damage fighting him, but you'll regen it back. We're just adding that to Apophis to make sure that teams that do have a lead can end. Clash games can definitely stalemate for a very long time without stuff like this.
And the last game mode to be balanced is Siege. Adjusted the Wild Juggernaut so that he continues to move and attack more smoothly. This should make him much harder to kite.
Yeah, you could one-man kite him and then let your team just kind of wail on him and kill him pretty early on.
And that is it for all the game mode changes. We'll now move along to the item balance. Now, item balance this week as well. It's a little bit long-winded, but I'm going to be very quick over it because most of this is MP5 stuff, correct?
Yeah, so a lot of it's MP5 stuff. The few targeted ones we'll talk about more.
Sure, and we'll start off with one of those targeted ones right now, Shifter's Shield.
Yeah.
We've changed the percentage health threshold for its effects.
Okay.
While over 75%, up from 50%, you gain 35 physical power, but while under 75%, it used to be 50%, you gain 35 physical and magical protections. Why the change?
That's really
So
high.
this is similar to Blackthorn Hammer, where we found that you largely wanted one stat at a certain point, and then you wanted the other stat way later.
Yeah.
In this case, you want the upfront damage to engage really effectively, either dive in as assassin or dive as a warrior. But then very quickly, when they answer back to your dive, you probably want those protections fast.
That's
you
true.
often have dumped all your abilities. Now you're just trying to kite and get out, or
I
like
see
look
that.
for positioning the basic attack. Getting the protections quicker will help you more.
It's
so
interesting.
While in some situations there'll be a nerf
I
depending
don't
on
know
your
if it
playstyle.
means
it's
This
a
is
good
largely a
item,
buff for people who pick
but
up this
it's
item
an
and want to
interesting
engage really
change,
hard
at least.
and then
Gotcha.
get more protections.
Gotcha. So for
There's
the
an
initial
interesting
engaging,
thought
could be pretty
process
good.
behind
That's
that.
that for Shift the Shield. Lightblade next on the list. Decreased attack speed from 15% to
Ooh,
10%.
wow.
Now provides 5 physical power.
Yeah, it matched another item, a starter item exactly. And one item tree was more akin to attack speed, where this one is more about attack speed and power and some supplemental stats. And so it's been changed to
That's
better
actually
represent that
interesting.
tree and help distinguish the trees.
So loses a bit of attack speed to grant the 5 power. attack
Because
speed for
it
the
and the
same cost.
tier
Okay,
1
that's
bow
Lightblade.
starter both
Morning
had the
Star
exact same
now
stats.
provides 5 MP5, an increased cost from 550 to 600. Is that because of the MP5 increase?
So yes, it's for the MP5 increase. It's also, we expect it to be a bit better of a starter item choice. Now instead of going like tier 2 Transcendence if you're a hunter, or
Interesting.
for a jungler you
got
could go
that
Assassin's
power
Blessing
on
and
it.
Mace. You might actually want, if maybe you're Bastet who's pretty mana hungry, you might want to go the Assassin's Blessing and this.
That's
as a
actually a
start,
pretty
which is 10 power,
significant
5
nerf at
MP5,
level
which will
1,
really
man.
help you stay out.
'Cause that means 2 pots
so
instead
it's a
of
bit
3
more powerful,
pots.
so we had to up the cost a little bit.
Okay, the next up is all the MP5 changes. What's the reason for all the MP5 changes?
So when you add to the base item of a tree, all items above either need to be at least the same or higher.
Gotcha.
And the Charge Morning Star was 4, which is below the 5, so we had to bump it up. Then now that we bumped it up, the other ones had to come up to match, and then the Hydra's Star and Hydra's Lament tree didn't have any MP5 period, so now since we added MP5 to the base item, they need MP5.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the world of item trees.
Here we go. Charge Morning Star, increase MP5
A
from 4
lot
to
of
7.
items in those
Transcendence,
trees
increase
are getting
MP5 from 6 to 10.
MP5.
Hot Seeker,
Congrats.
increase MP5 from 7 to 10. Hydra's Star now provides 7 MP5, and Hydra's Lament now provides 10 MP5. If you want to read more about that, read the patch notes at the end of the show. Thanks very much. On to God Balance. What's the focus in God Balance this week?
So
I'm on form today.
That was good. That was really quick. The goal is targeted adjustments for the top-end characters, as we always do.
Right.
And then the other change is a lot of mage, and specifically mage healer adjustments to make sure that they feel good. A lot of characters had high either mana cost or very low base mana cost that
Healer
made their
changes
abilities
are
feel like they had
scary.
high mana cost. And so we have a sweeping change through that. And then one other healer is getting more targeted buffs just in general.
Okay, let's begin in the God section then. Achilles first on the list. We're going to decrease the basic attack range from 16 to 12 on the basics. Radiant Glory, decreased power percent buff from 10 to 20% is now going to be 10 to 14%, so a top-end nerf there. And Combat Dodge, decreased physical power scaling from 50% to 45%.
I'll take
so a 5%
whatever I can
reduction
get.
there. 3 different targeted
Whatever
changes
I can
towards
get,
Achilles.
baby.
Yes, so the first one was the basic attacks. The animation just didn't match.
Right.
Earlier on, he had longer kind of stabs, but then over the course of development, he actually got shorter ones, but the basic attack range wasn't updated. That's just an unfair advantage he has above other characters. Characters like Awilix have that very targeted given to them, where he just kind of inherited it from old, like, earlier testing.
Right.
So that's being toned down, which will help players box against him. But the real changes here are the Radiant Glory and Combat Dodge. So he was just scaling too high in the late game. I think we've all seen the very powerful Achilles in the unarmored stance with some offensive items. Pop Radiant Glory and then Combat Dodge Hydra's Lament someone for a lot of damage. Lowering the top end power he gets from Radiant Glory and lowering the top end scaling that he gets from Combat Dodge should help mean that players have more opportunity to react against that.
Okay.
Cool.
Achilles down.
like it.
Next
Good
up,
shot.
Amaterasu. Dazzling offense. We've increased the damage per
buff,
strike. It was 75 to 275. It's now going to be 95 to 275. So it's just an
pretty
early game
decent
buff.
early buff.
Yeah, and it's specifically targeted towards early game trading potential once you hit level 5. This ultimate was quite potent, but in terms of CC provided, but the damage for the amount of time you had to invest into it was underwhelming compared to other characters. Either other characters got lower damage off but way quicker, or actually even higher damage off and quicker. And so we're making sure that the early ranks of this feel impactful. If you catch someone out where they can't escape you and you get to land all 3 of these, you should be rewarded for that, for the time investment that you're given.
A lot of damage too, if you work it out, if you do land all 3. But yeah, the time investment,
it's like,
I get you.
I think it's like 60 to 70 base damage increase if you land all 3, because the math gets a bit weird, but around there.
Okay, that's Amaterasu. Aphrodite, one of those healers in question that Pom Pom was mentioning. Kiss, increased movement speed increase from 4 to 20. Is now going
I thought it was
to 20. So an
that's
early
double
game,
to
early
level
rank
1.
buff
That's
for the
pretty
Kiss.
decent.
Also increased bonus damage from this. It was 4 to 20. It's now going to be 8 to 20. Once
pretty
again,
decent too.
buff to Kiss overall in the early ranks. Back off now applies the slow. Sorry, back off now always applies the 25%
Yes,
slow.
the one that you were linked to would get slowed. The one that you had would knock back. Now the one you have itself is also going to slow.
There's a slow and a
That's a
knockback.
good buff.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's strong.
And then not just that, but Lovebirds as well.
Oh!
Decrease the cooldown of Lovebirds. That's the heal of Aphrodite. It was 16 to 12 seconds. It's now 12 seconds all ranks.
Oh my
So really
god,
strong.
Aphrodite
Yeah, so when
just
you're playing the
became
support
really
role,
good,
you're
really
able to support more
fast.
effectively by having the rank 1 Kiss do more
She just
immediately.
became so.
You have
That was
a
so
higher
quick.
chance of
It's
being
so
able to
quick
build
how
with
she
the
just
additional
became
spell and
strong. That was
effects, so you have
so
it consistently.
fast.
And the cooldown both helps in terms of the support role, or if you're going to play mid, having access to a 12-second
gonna be
cooldown
interesting.
really helps you actually trade and clear against other mages.
Okay.
To see where
That's
she
it for
gets
Aphrodite then.
played.
Moving along
Support,
to
mid, solo.
Baron Sammy.
That'll be
next up.
interesting.
He's going to get a bit of a change here. It's only going to be base mana. It's going to go up from 250 to 300.
All
Too
right.
low?
Yes, it was too low, and this was somewhat intended when he was first released. He had a lot of utility that he brought with all of his abilities, and since then we've
That's a
kind
big
of toned down
Aphrodite
that
change,
utility
folks.
and strength of it to where
not a
it's
big
now probably
Baron
more
change.
fair that he can actually cast those as many times as he does out in the laning phase. Having extra 500 mana just increases how many abilities he can cast, how much time he has being out to regen extra mana. So this should let him stay out a little bit longer, be a bit more free to cast spells.
Okay, next on the list is Bologna. It's going to be a nerf to
nerf
Bologna this
that
week.
one,
Scourge,
yep.
decreased healing. It was 30 to 50. It's now going to be 25 to 45. So nerf to all ranks of this. What's the reason?
Yep, so outside of King Arthur, Bologna and Achilles have been really the dominant picks that we've seen in SPL.
She's also
Bologna has
dominant
started
in
to rise in ban rate as well as in ranked, but Achilles had shot up way past Bologna. And so while we did a heavier hit to Achilles, we did want
that's
to
all
adjust
they're
Bologna
hitting on her?
just so
She'll be
that she
fine.
didn't, with Achilles being kind of a main check
It's
against
her
her,
block
being
stacks that
nerfed,
are
we
really
didn't want to make sure that she
problematic
just
on
kind
her
of rose
one.
way too far up. So she's getting a very slight healing nerf
least in
the
the
early
ultra
game, so
late
that when she's trading with Scourge, when she's fighting maybe the totem, she doesn't get as much healing.
But we're keeping an eye on her anyway, just in case she does continue to take off with Achilles taking those nerfs.
Yep, we're going to watch it really closely.
Kukulcan, next on the list, going to get a bit of love this week. Increased base mana per level. It was 34. It's going to 38. But not only that, the Tremor.
Better not be
We're
on
going to
that.
decrease the mana cost of Tremor, which is quite important. 15 to 35 to 10 to 30.
That's a respectable
Early
change.
game, level 1 Kukulcan's coming back. Is that what I'm
That's
seeing?
a little-
It's a really unique ability, and it was incredibly punishing to
Interesting.
cast. Not only was it punishing early on to cast, but later on it kind of outscaled his mana pool in terms of like the percentage. And so giving a little bit of base mana will
Might
also
help him a little
make
bit.
sure that he has a mana pool to sustain tremors.
Chang'e as well. Next general increased base mana from 290 to 310
Chang'e buffs
and
are real
increased base
scary.
mana per level from 43 to 48. So mana buffs,
Okay.
mana love all around for Chang'e.
Yep.
As well as Moonflower Dance increased the damage from 65 to 165. It's now going to be 85 to 185. So a buff to that all over too.
Yep, especially for how much she kind of spams abilities, her pool was low. This moves her more to the middle of mages, not even towards the top end. And then Moonflower Dance, we really carefully look to see what ability
We're
we want to
getting
buff the
some
Chong
healer
on, either
buffs,
the 1 or the 3.
folks.
The 1
Some
we've had multiple
healer
iterations
buffs.
on. We feel like it's in a good place where it feels relatively fair to fight. You have some downtime in between it to figure out if you want to stay and fight the Chang'e, where she doesn't just get to poke you for free all the time. So Moonflower Dance, which is the more offensive move, you have to get closer to your enemies. This one we're going to give a bit of base damage on, and this, I believe, takes about 1 auto attack away from needing to clear the wave, so it should help her wave clear as well.
Okay, so it may help a little bit more
really
there.
nice
Next up
if
is
it does.
Hell. Hell, increased base health, I was going to say mana.
And
mana
a
roll
Hell
base
buff.
base health on Hell from 380 to 410, to a little bit healthier in the early game. But not only that, decay and restoration. Decreased mana cost from 70 to 90 is now going to be 55 to 75. Mana reductions everywhere, it seems.
Yeah, this is, she has to kind of be forward to get
Hell's
damage off, and that makes her very vulnerable. It should be a weak point of her kit, but
Hell's
it was a bit
already
too weak.
underrated.
She had a little
She's
bit too low
very
base health.
scary.
In addition, decay and restoration, these are things you have to spam out all the time. The mana drain was just really intense there, and so specifically if you're going to be throwing those out for poke all the time, we're letting you do that a bit more often.
Another healer on the cards, or a
nothing too
Suedo one, I
crazy,
should
though,
say,
for
is
Hell,
Horus.
which is good.
A couple of changes here,
Better
mainly
get
bug
nerfed.
fixes by the looks of
Yes.
it. Updraft,
okay.
fix an issue where the follow-up basic attack was benefiting from lifesteal
good.
more than intended.
Good.
Also fix an issue where the follow-up basic attack was not slowing. Also fix an issue where this ability couldn't crit when the projectile reaches maximum range. It could crit?
Yeah, it was... Essentially, it was reducing his crit. It was reducing his crit chance while he was firing, and so once the projectile reached like the max range, he technically had stopped firing the device, and so it had like a little bit of lifetime left on the projectile, and that could crit.
Okay. Fracture also improved audio feedback for the follow-up hit. Protector's Surge, the third ability, the heal. This ability now properly classified as a leap.
You can Wheelix pull it.
Oh,
There
were
you
you not
go.
able to before?
Nope.
I didn't know that. The more you know. Also fix an issue where the ability would sometimes fail to heal. I did experience that quite a bit. And to the skies, fix an issue where teleported allies would sometimes not receive a shield.
That's
So no balance
important.
changes. We're watching really closely. People have a lot to learn with the ultimate.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people experience the I pop the ult, no one comes with me.
Yep.
So people are still kind of learning him. And overall, these bug fixes are more of buffs than nerfs, making sure you heal consistently and shield consistently, as well as the slow on the ranged basic attack. from
He'll
the
get
one.
nerfed eventually.
Those are really
one
big
day.
changes for
He's
him,
still
and so
too
we want
early.
to see how those
He'll get
affect him
nerfed
first
one day,
before
though.
making any targeted balance adjustments.
No, I can completely understand that. So many balance changes there that are important. So King Arthur, next up then.
Are they gonna nerf him? Are they
nerfs?
gonna do it?
Nerfs and some feedback for fighting against him.
I was going to punch you if you said buffs then. I swear, I'm just sick of it. King Arthur, Steadfast, reduces bonus energy generation from 25% per stack to 20%. 80% down from 100% at maximum stacks.
Yes.
And Excalibur's Fury, Sundering Strike. The sword now glows a distinct color when at 35 and at 80 energy. That's nice. I like that one.
Yes, so the first one is very targeted towards specifically like conquest solo lane slap fights. When you can constantly stay engaged, you're just gaining a huge amount of energy. In other modes, he has to kind of dip in and dip out, so his energy gain is a bit more reasonable. This is why you're seeing the 11, 12-second ults. Is you're seeing largely the energy generation just going nuts. And so toning that down means that the top end there is going to be a bit better. The second thing is Excalibur's Fury. We normally don't give players a way to know if a player has their ultimate up or not.
Sure.
But King Arthur's a rule breaker. He has...
Well, he's got 2 ults technically, right? That's probably one of the reasons for it.
2 ultimates. He has an energy meter. He has lock-on basic attacks that charge you forward. He works in a completely different way from other characters. It's not surprising that he might need a slightly different rule for how much feedback you have in regards to knowing if the ultimate's ready. So you can see right there the sword kind of changed color to indicate the 35.
Oh, that's
it's a very
not easy.
slight change.
That is a very
because
slight
that one's
change.
less important than the 81.
Right.
But wait till he gets the 81.
Okay. So just build that up for us.
And personally, I like the
Wait,
skin.
how are you doing this at the same time as being on the show?
I'm really good. The beard was just holding me back.
Oh, the beard's doing it. That's what you should have said more than anything else.
There you go.
Oh, it's
Look how-
glowing.
Now it's
Look how cool
really
that red sword
glowing.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks more dangerous now.
Yep, and it will hit you
Yeah,
with the ultimate.
that is really
Awesome.
glowing.
And then when it goes away, you'll see the sword
That
change
is
color
noticeable.
again.
Yeah, but he has infinite energy on, so he's still above.
Oh my god,
God.
that beard is
Okay.
stupid. Never mind.
There you go.
Hey, and it goes back to a normal glow. So get used to seeing the sword change color. You'll get used to that as time goes on, I'm sure. That's King Arthur. We'll move on now to his best old friend, Merlin.
So-
I'm going to look at Merlin next.
Yeah.
Yes. So Merlin
Hit with it.
is a bit different than King Arthur. Where King Arthur has dropped a lot in stats since then, so we're making very targeted adjustments towards like his top end solo lane potential and giving better feedback. He's just getting straight up nerfs. He's been really high on the ban rate along with him, so he's getting very targeted adjustments towards actually his damage output.
All right.
Okay, here we go with the Merlin changes then. Obviously, at the moment, Radiate at the bottom, decrease damage scaling from 35% to 30% per tick. Not only that, Frostbolt decreased base damage of this ability. It was 60 to 220. It's now going to be 60 to 200.
Dude, that
so
one was getting nerfed.
late game nerfs nerf as that gets leveled up. And Dragonfire, I think this one's a big one here. The protection reduction on this ability now only applies to enemy gods and will not affect minions. So it's a jungle.
How does that
affect?
Yes,
Right?
so he could shred Fire Giant and Gold Fury significantly more than other characters can. So like that combined with like his high objective damage just in general, like the Fire Stance damage in general is really good for objectives, made him a very strong pick for teams wanting to go for Fire Giants and Gold Furies and gave him kind of an extra
that made his
there.
objectives
Removing
like
that, remove
impossible
some of
to
the
deal
ability
with,
for him to
literally,
use that and get like a lead more than other
do
characters.
anything about it.
Okay, well, we'll see how that works out for Merlin. See some more changes there. But moving on to Poseidon
that's
up
nice.
next. And Poseidon's going to get some mana love. Tidal Surge, decreased mana cost from 60 to
Mana
100.
love.
He's now going to be 60 to 80. It's a big change there. And Whirlpool,
Good nerfs
decreased
to
mana
Merlin.
cost as well. 60 to 100. He's now going to be 60 to 80.
Yes.
Poseidon might not need to like invest so much in MP5.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you look at it, it's like, man, 2 abilities that cost 100 mana is really high, and so like late game he really drained through his mana pool. This should make him more reasonable compared to other mages.
Next up on the list is Set. How's Set been doing, by the way?
People are not particularly good with him.
Is that what you roasted the community officer?
He's a character that functions differently. There's a lot of things about his kit that like people have had to work
It's
through.
okay,
and craft.
Pon, you can
A lot of people
say
wanted
it.
to stack attack speed at the
He's
start.
not
but since he
very
gets free
good.
attack speed,
You
he
can
wanted
say it,
power
Pon.
instead. And so watching people work through that,
fine.
I think that's more of just a learning curve thing.
So is he good or is he bad?
I think he's pretty close if you get good with him.
Right.
But we are making some fixes, and we have a very slight buff because we think the fixes overall are going to improve players' usability with him.
There you
We think
go.
he needs
Bug
a buff
fix
in his
sounds
early game
good.
specifically when he chooses to engage, just to make sure that he can compete against other assassins and other gank potential. But we're going to watch him really closely, especially I think he's another one of those King Arthur cases where as players really get familiar with him, we can see
I want it
him move
on the
along.
record that
The
King
old school
Arthur
circuit for you guys
got
at
a
home.
ton
Set
of bug
then
fixes
Skewer
and buffs,
fixing
and
the
that's
issue
why
where
he
the
got
slow
good.
from this ability wasn't consistently being counted
that on
as
the
a
record.
slow. The slow from
Not that it took
Skewer
the community a
should
long
now
time to get good
properly
with him.
count for
That's a
Runeforged
lie.
hammer bonuses on future attacks. Should no longer be able to slow targets who are CC immune.
So both benefited and hurt him.
And then Spawn of Set.
Okay.
Spawns are now visible to Set through walls, which is a good change there.
That's nice.
Sandstorm, the targeter for selecting a spawn is now more accurate, fixing an
That's
issue where
nice.
this ability was not properly cleansing slow effects. And Kingslayer increased the healing from this from 30 to 90. It's now going to be 45 to 105.
Yeah, so that's the targeted actual buff for him. His early game, he didn't feel like he had the payoff for actually getting a whole bunch of those marks off. The scaling later on takes kind of care of that. The healing feels very impactful late game. So that's why we wanted to focus on just the base amount so that he could actually
lot of
dive
good
more
bug
aggressively
fixes.
early on and try and play those high risk,
And,
high
like,
reward games.
Quality of life changes.
And then
That
we're moving
healing
on to the
change
last
is pretty
which I've been
decent,
dreading
though.
this entire time. So I don't know
15
how you
at
guys are
level
going
one?
to take it. I'm just excited.
That's like a 50%
I can't decide either.
increase or
This is one of the
something
things
for
that we had a
healing.
lot of discussion internally
That's
about.
I've heard a
big-
lot of arguments in the office over
That's
this
a big
one.
one.
So,
So.
I don't know. Here we go, boys and girls. You ready? Jabalonke. His ult is not going to stun anymore.
Correct.
That's pretty much all you need to know. I mean, the FX are getting changed as well, I believe. The audio
all
effects
that.
to allow for that, but it's still going to make the darkness. You're still going to get the range. It's just not going to have the stun mechanic.
Wow.
Yes, so there's a lot to go into here. I'm going to try and keep it brief. Shibalanke has a very unique ultimate for a hunter.
I think the problem
Hunters
was
only
is
have,
you
like,
could
very immediate
avoid
team
it
fight
every
impact ones or very
time
selfish
at high
ultimates.
level gameplay.
His
with
was
your
more that he
B,
applied to the enemy team, and they
which
had to
is-
just deal with being confused.
Right.
Losing vision is a really big deal, and it's not one of those things that, like, oh, if you're really good at the game, you can just kind of ignore it. We see this at the very top end of the game.
I mean, his
where
ultimate's
pro players
still
losing
strong, but
that
that's
vision
interesting.
really hinders their ability to make decision making, and it causes team fights to really go in the favor of the Shibalanke team. And so we were looking at this ability, and there's very few ways to tweak it, really, even. Like, you
Yeah.
can make it a slightly bigger in range, but it creates some weirdness.
Right.
And so what we decided to go for was removing the stun on this ability.
Interesting.
It's one of those things where in Smite you generally understand things that are happening to you, right?
Yes.
Like, if you get Circuit poisoned and you die and you see an explosion, you see the explosion effect go to other characters, you can kind of understand what the ability did, even if you don't know the exact things that's like true damage. This was one of those things where if you didn't explicitly read the text of Shibalanke, you really weren't going to figure this out on your own.
That's true.
Like, if you weren't actually reading it, how are you going to learn to stop moving specifically right then when that timer was going down? We discussed a lot of ways to do that effects treatment. Like, we were even thinking like a red light, green light scenario where it flashed red, but even then you would have to see it once and then understand that red light meant stop.
Right.
And even then, that might not happen. And so it was just one of those things where it was largely confusing.
Oh,
the
gosh.
uniqueness of this ultimate
It's
really comes
interesting.
down to the fact that it's a confusion-oriented ultimate where it blocks vision and kind of fills your headphones with noise. And we wanted to preserve that aspect of it, and we felt like adjusting him where he needed to be adjusted because he's at the very top end. This is one way we
interesting.
could adjust him while also reducing.
It
especially incoming
definitely
player
is a
frustration with the character.
significant nerf to Shibalanke.
Outside of that, it also means that if you are blinded and you see a Kraken right underneath you, before you often would have to just disengage from the fight because if that Kraken appeared right underneath you and you had to burn your movement skill to get away, you're just going to get stunned and then immediately dogpiled and killed anyway. So it often encourage teams to like immediately fall back regardless of the situation. Now you can be a bit more forward and react to things that are happening underneath you, which opens up some counterplay opportunity.
I just only feel the old school players out there are going to struggle. I know I am, where I'm going to want to stand still every single time this goes off, and I don't. I shouldn't.
I have the muscle memory of just the quick
I get the idea.
and like a lot of people have back bound to their mouse
how do you nerf
specifically for this ability.
without
It's going to take some learning, but it's definitely one of those things that like when you can just hit auto run as it hits you and you just keep walking forward, it feels great.
Well, we got through the balance section.
But
that's everything for this week.
a hefty
you can
nerf,
catch up on all
though.
this after the show
Especially
as well.
to, like,
The full notes will
combos
be
with it,
available
like,
if there's anything we went over a little bit
Bacchus
too quick
and
for you.
stuff.
But for
Doesn't
now,
exist
it's
anymore.
time for Pon to disappear once more as he's got to go
Doesn't
and
exist
get his beard
anymore.
back. Let's go back to Ryan. What have you got for us this week, Ryan?
Well, first of all, Graham, I want to thank you
Why
for
is it so
bringing
dark
that
in this
Gibalonke
room,
chant
bro?
because I cannot wait to just get an X-Ball ulted, press my auto run key, and relax as I walk back to lane. Not have to worry about getting stunned. But to talk about some of the amazing skins, I mean, we previewed them earlier on, 13 of them here for you today, and give you some info on the Battle Pass that they're coming in. Got a couple people joining me here on the casual side. We got Tina, as always, but also John and Tim to go over some of these. Guys, I mean, this theme here for the Battle Pass, Neo Olympia, it's a kind of cyberpunk meets Smite. When this was kind of concepted, I imagine the art team was all very excited about this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, so anything cyberpunk and kind of futuristic sci-fi is definitely up my alley. And with Smite being such a fantasy-based game, like this was a really refreshing theme to kind of explore.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing so far. And just like our previous Battle Pass structures, there'll be a free and a paid track that'll both have rewards, so don't worry about that for you guys at home. So let's get into it. Let's get into War Maker Vulcan.
We have a lot
right
of
off the
skins.
bat
If
here.
we're going to get into
try something a little bit different. We're not going to be listening to the voice packs at the end. Instead, we've got a little bit of a preview here for you at the very beginning, and then we'll go in and look at the abilities. So
Probably
take a look
a better
at War
way
Maker
to do
Vulcan
this, actually.
I was cast out from paradise by the gods, only to end up with them in this hellhole.
I can't hear anything.
They took everything from me, and now I am here to take everything from them, piece by piece. When I got my latest upgrade, they installed an off button somewhere. I still haven't been able to find it.
All right. So hopefully you guys were able to hear it. We couldn't hear it on our end, but I'm sure it sounded sweet, as always. So War Maker Vulcan. It's
a better way to do the voice
of
packs,
a
since you can't ever hear
protagonist here
anything
in the
in-game,
Neo
which is
Olympia Smite universe. Tina, you're usually my
big
go-to
old
for
Vulcan
the
skin, dude.
lore
He's
behind
got
it.
a look at that turret.
Yes.
What the? That's a jack turret.
I've written this a long time ago. I'm sorry. I was actually gone for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
So when
Well,
I
I've got a
wrote
little
the
thing
skin-
here, and I can read it.
Oh, awesome! Yes, please jog my memory. Jog my memory.
Okay. Once a member of an elite society,
Jesus Christ.
he was maimed and cast out. He now looks with anger and resentment up to his former home and builds dangerous tech to strike back and tear down the elites.
Yes.
there
That
you
is
have it.
exactly
Sounds
what
familiar.
I was.
Yeah. Oh, I got all that.
Yeah.
From
We
what I'm
Nailed
seeing.
it.
Actually have so John
Absolutely
and
nailed it.
his team of concept artists. When they design the skins or come up with the skins, they usually like have a little backstory that they want the skins to like, especially for the battle pass, because it's always like in theme or something or close to theme. So they always try and come up with interesting backstories for each of the skins
That's cool.
to interact and stuff. So
It's a cool skin.
yeah.
I like it.
I love it. The turret, the new look turret is
I
looking
definitely
really sweet.
dig the
Brand new
turret.
turret. No, lots of cool stuff.
I definitely dig that.
Backfire looks great as well.
Like in
this,
theme or something,
It definitely
folks.
is. The new
So.
sort of cyberpunk theme certainly fits here. Tim, when we're talking about different, I mean, it's slightly different models here for the animations and that kind of stuff. What, how much harder is that for your team on the rigging side?
I think it really depends on how, I guess, complex we're getting here. But for example, for this turret here, new rig, right? So
Yeah.
we've never had a turret that's had little mobile legs. So
Boop. Mobile legs.
having the opportunity to kind of redesign a little bit opens up more.
A
opportunities for
gun with
motion,
legs?
and get
What
some
an
more
interesting
creativity
idea.
there. So it's pretty
If
cool.
only somebody else
I mean, I
had
think
that
the whole
idea
thing
as
looks
well.
pretty great.
Very
I do. I actually,
interesting.
it says here we have a VXG, so hopefully we can get back in and take a look at that one still, because don't want to miss out on those extra special special animations,
Oh,
especially when they're
Yeah.
this cool.
When he can fly
Ooh.
around.
And now you
Holy
can fly
cow.
around as Vulcan. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
I think my favorite
Respect.
of the XGs is when they're able to be
So-
mobilized like this.
Yeah,
Respect.
definitely.
For sure.
Moving around, it's really cool.
Yeah, I know
Like
my
Iron
my
Man,
favorite VXG
future
right now is
pirate
the Robin
Vulcan.
skin where he just kind of like bounces around and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This definitely feels very similar. Man,
That
is
is
sweet.
really cool.
Absolutely love that here on Warmaker Vulcan. Okay, next up we have Power Surge Awilix.
All right.
This one is one that I think a lot of people have been kind of excited about. This idea of instead of riding Suku, she has an actual bike. But
yeah.
I mean that's a huge change for
It's like
your
a
side
hover
on the
bike.
animation, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, basically nothing could be transferred or saved.
Right.
So we just from the ground up, Sean and a group of the animators kind of took this and just ran with it. It was really awesome, kind of remaking her work, but on a bike, like hover bike level.
Well, let's take a look at it in game and hear a bit of the voice pack, and then we'll get into the abilities.
Dead or alive, your bounty is mine. We're gonna take down the creator of the most dangerous weapons in history. Business as usual. Don't worry, I may like bikes, but I'm no psychopath.
Nice. Always solid.
Wow,
in some
look
ways.
at that.
But dude, that bike.
Oh,
looks
boy.
so
No,
sweet.
it's so good.
That's
Yeah.
so
And it leaps.
man.
Yeah, because
That is-
it needs to. I mean,
Yeah.
That is
This is
that is
definitely
an
one of those
excellent.
cool abilities where because she
Right.
can stay on Suku for as long as she wants. So
Right.
having the bike just kind of really amplifies that.
absolutely.
I like
And
it.
she can throw the bike at people.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. There it goes on its own.
You can throw the
on
bike.
its own. You charge it out. That is too cool, man.
That's
Tim,
a
how
good
about for your
skin
side?
right
I mean,
there.
John kind of touched on the animation.
That's a good one.
Is that a big change for you guys on rigging as well to change from a Jaguar to a bike?
It is. It's actually probably a little simpler for us. I didn't really see
Ooh.
the rig for this one, but I
Ooh, look at the
imagine it
ult view with, like,
probably
the
had a
cooldown
handful of
timer around your
controls
character. That's
compared
actually really
to,
nice.
Say the cat or quadruped in general is
Yeah.
requiring a full body, all the limbs and spine bones and things of that nature. So something like this is a little simpler. So.
I mean, it turned out absolutely amazing. I love the color scheme as well. A little bit more teal to go alongside the orange. I think is a great
Nice.
look, and can't wait to be zooming around. And if you're on the top end of the NA ranked scene,
like
some
it.
Bumba's Mask Willix riding around on
God.
a bike is
No,
something
please.
that I am somewhat looking forward to. I suppose.
No,
in some
no
ways.
more.
All right,
No
next up
more.
it's
Don't
Data
encourage
Dealer
it.
Dodgy.
Boombas didn't even
This
get
one
nerfed.
again, part of the battle pass. This is a recolor of the Cyber Fox.
I thought this
Dodgy
one was
skin.
a recolor.
So, as
So the
you should
battle
know and
passes
love,
are 3
personally,
new
my
skins
favorite
and a
Dodgy
recolor
skin,
every
this one, with
time,
just a
right? Is that
cooler,
what we've decided?
Sleek white look this time around.
I think
We
that's,
do have
I
a
think
quick,
that's what the
look at
battle
this one
passes are
in-game
now.
as
3
well.
new skins and a recolor.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we had the little video or not. We do not, but that's okay because we already know what the voice pack sounds like. This one just really fits. It's not a whole new concept, but it just fits so well into the Neo
Into the theme.
Olympia
Yeah, and that's why
that
you added it. Yep.
makes sense. If you aren't familiar, then make sure you pick up the battle pass because you're gonna love it. Trust me. All right, Warmaker Cerberus. This
Oh,
one
yeah.
Now
is
there we
the,
go.
The cream of the crop.
This I'm
here,
down
I'd
for
say on
right
this
now.
battle pass. I
Yeah.
can see everyone on the set is getting
This
more and
has
more
got to be
excited
the
talk
level
about this
60
one.
reward,
I mean,
right? Has to be.
This is just. I don't even know. Let's just go in and take a
Look
listen
at
to the
it,
voice
yeah.
pack and get our first look at it in game.
It's a lot to digest, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Operation CRBRS states that Olympus is the enemy. Directive is to seek and destroy. Protocol tells me I must exterminate on sight.
I love it. I love it. It's going to exterminate you, dude.
Why did the robot marry his fiancée? Because he could not resist or... Laughing my ass off.
Laughing my ass off.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, look at those auto attacks,
Everything
too.
I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Holy.
the guy
This
who
is
voices
excellent.
who did this, he actually sent in the voice recording just like that. Like
Really?
the audition.
Oh,
the audition
wow.
was like that. I was like, this guy
That's next
legit
level.
sounds like a robot. We don't even need to add effects. But we did. I mean, we did, but
Sure.
he was so good.
Yo, look at that, too.
And it's exactly what this
Yo,
thing needed
that's a
because it
really
is already so
good-looking
cool, but that really does
Cerberus,
just take it
too.
To the
Oh
next
my
level,
God.
right?
Man, I mean, this is This is
No,
literally
this-
just a tank.
This
That's
is
all-
better
that's
than
all
some of the
that is
T5
going on
skins.
right
Can we
here. He's a tank.
can we say that out loud? This is
Cerberus
better
tank.
than
Yeah,
most
this,
of the
this
tier
skin
5
was,
skins.
really exciting
Like-
to work on. Whenever the concept first came through, I knew right away I wanted this.
This is intense.
I'm a big fan of the hard-weighted
Wow.
rigging
Just
style. So you
wow.
can get crazy creative with it. You can get all mechanical and robot-y and transforming with this guy. And,
Look at the backing animation. That was sick.
Yeah, the
Oh,
back
wait, no, that's the back,
animation
that's the
is
back.
fantastic.
Yeah.
One of Louis, one
Wow,
of the animations
man.
just has like a strong affinity for like mechanical
Wow.
stuff, and it just
Ooh.
the sound, the audio cues, everything is
So
just the whole
good.
package just feels really good.
That's
And then this
crazy.
is the VXG as well, another
Yeah.
transformative one. He turns into a more mobile tank.
Tank,
This is
tank.
yeah, mobile
a bit
tank.
more aerodynamic.
Yo,
Now you can
like
cruise
an
around.
actual tank.
Just insane. I mean,
Oh
this is
my god.
nuts. He literally is a little tank, and then
Yeah.
It looks like a little pupper.
and then he
tank.
gets like, and then it transforms into a bigger tank, and it's
Yeah.
even scarier.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Wow.
It really got it all. Just
I don't- I
that
don't
is-
even know what
that
to
is
say.
Just awesome.
Other than that is.
yeah, the recall as well.
Well, if you weren't
on
planning
top
on
of
getting
that.
the battle
Again,
pass,
Warmaker server
you're
is part
wrong.
of
You're getting the
new
battle pass
Olympia
now.
Battle
so.
pass. I imagine if it's looking this cool, it's got to be the final reward. I imagine
It is the
for-
final reward
Okay, yeah.
of the battle pass.
Definitely.
Makes sense, man. Just too good. Too
Oh,
good.
it's
for that
PewDiePie.
skin. Excellent stuff. All right, so we've got some more skins to show you guys, but we're going to take a quick break on those to go and toss it over to Hindu and Isaiah to be talking about some community news. They're going to tackle some skins and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we'll throw it over to them now.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, we're just
Hi,
kind of waiting
Andrew.
for you guys in chat to calm down after that skin, because the quality of the skins, Isaiah, is getting crazy these days.
Absolute unit. That server skin.
Insane.
Ridiculous.
Well, that's
Hi,
one of the skins.
Isaiah.
Anyway, community section real quick with Isaiah. How's it going, first of all?
It's going well. How about you, man?
I'm doing okay. I don't know. I've not read what people have said about the patch notes yet, so we'll find out.
Right,
What about
yeah,
you?
We'll see.
You
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it?
I'm doing well. I haven't seen anything. I know chat's been reacting. You know, there's some mixed opinions about the Shivalanke change, but we'll see how it goes.
Wouldn't be a patch if there wasn't. Anyway, then, community news this weekend. What's going on?
This weekend, win 3 games, earn an Enigma chest. It's that easy.
Oh, simple.
Yep. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for a total of up to 3 possible Enigma chests.
So play this weekend and get yourself some Enigma chests. But not only that, we've got the Odyssey skin competition,
Yeah,
right?
so we ran through the Odyssey 2019
Yeah.
voting bracket. Emir and Baron Samdi ended up as the final winners.
I didn't
So-
rig that, by the way, but it fell how I wanted it to
Oh,
for the
that's
most
awesome.
part. Yeah, I can't complain.
We actually had an internal bracket, and Baron and Emir ended up being a lot of people's final 2. But the team is working hard. They are almost done with the
Coincidence?
final concepts for
I
voting.
think
So
not.
the final voting should start in the next
Rigged.
couple weeks for you guys. Just be
Confirmed.
sure to stay tuned to official Smite social media, smitegame.com, and we'll have that voting up for you soon.
And last thing to mention as well, during this section, is Twitch Prime stuff.
Yes, Gladiator Thor is the
Twitch
current
Prime?
Twitch Prime bundle. Be sure
You know,
to pick it up.
I
and get
really
it for
do
free with your
recommend
Twitch
hitting
Prime
that
subscription.
Twitch Prime
That
button.
bundle
What?
goes away on
You know
the
that is totally a
24th,
free way
so
to
next
sub?
Friday. So be sure to claim that.
You get free
And then,
Smite
the
stuff,
next thing we've got to
and you can
discuss is,
sub
you get a
in
skin
con.
here for me. What's
What
the
a
skin?
Yeah,
deal.
the next
Incredible.
Twitch Prime bundle.
There's
skin.
another one?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the last
Wait,
one
there's
actually
more!
in this promotion. It's for Hades,
Oh.
and it is Prince of Darkness Hades.
Let's have a little look then.
Yeah.
Oh, he's vampire.
Oh,
Second
Prince of
round
Darkness
is good.
Hades is the Prime
that Empty
skin.
Thrones
Well, look at that.
probably
You want the
nothing.
Hades
Oh,
skin?
I wasn't sure if you were doing a
See?
secret like
That
"Hmm,
man
maybe
wants
this
a
is the new
Hades
one
skin.
coming out after
He
that."
wants a
Maybe
Hades
that chair will be
skin.
empty afterwards.
It's true.
Yeah, who would sit on that with Hades?
I have no idea. I'll have to
Interesting.
catch up on my
It's
lore.
all
Let's have a listen to the
true.
voice pack for this skin.
Follow me! You will help me escort these gods to the underworld.
Okay, chill out, my man.
Everyone falls under my rule. Eventually.
It's like edgy Hades, dude.
Oh, surprise! Another son of Zeus! At this point, I'm not even shocked. That guy was probably a rabbit in his previous life.
And here's a little look at it in game 2. With
Shots
the abilities.
fired.
He's got a fear of a live action Hades, doesn't he? That's what
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
got
So
through
this
me.
is actually the first skin for Hades to where he's actually a human. You know, normally he's like the evil, dark, or like the Ragnarok lava. This is the first skin for Hades where he's taken a human form.
It's Snape,
He's gonna
Snape
beat you up on
Hades,
the
dude.
battlefield too.
I love the
Oh,
effects
there he
too, how
goes.
they're
Bye,
a little bit like black
Odin.
and dark. It's really cool.
He made the
Does look
mistake
really
of
good.
fearing an
Obviously,
Odin
Odin's
bot.
going to have a fun time getting feared.
Mistake
That's what
number
happened to him
one.
there. But this skin is going to be part of the Twitch Prime
Yes,
bundle.
part of the
saying.
Twitch
Mistake
Prime
number
bundle
one.
that is available on May 24th.
Oh.
So you'll get this. I believe you get
Oh,
a
no,
loading
do they ever
screen
stop
and
being
an
pulled?
ultra
Yes,
pack.
they do.
All
Okay.
for free.
We're
You
just
gotta
giving
check
it away. And then after the Hades one, we've got one other thing really quick to touch on with you. I know it's lots of skins this week, boys and girls, but hey,
It
they're
is
all
lots of
pretty damn
skins.
good in my
man,
opinion.
this one's awesome.
It's very rare that I'm the one that says that.
Lots of skins,
Bastet
dude.
Luminous.
Bastet.
Yes,
That's
Luminous
actually a
Bastet.
cool looking
We've got an all-new
Bastet.
chest
skin.
coming to Smite in the Neo Olympia update called the Extraterrestrial chest, and this skin will be available in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely got an alien
So it's a
theme to
chest
this.
skin.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Those kitties do not look very much
Chest
like
skin.
kitties.
Right?
Well, let's see what Bastet's got to say in a voice pack.
Too bad Bastet didn't get
Weird
love.
clothes, strange language. Who are these people? Why have they come here?
It's like Avatar Bastet.
Leave in peace or leave in pieces.
I'm gonna put her dangly blue thing in my dangly blue thing, and we're gonna be connected.
Why are aliens messy tea drinkers? With flying saucers, it's hard not to spill it.
That model looks absolutely crazy. I'm a big fan of like the purple-blue color scheme.
I do like the little VGS bits we've going. We've got to get the laugh spam in though, Isaiah, because
yeah.
that's the most important thing. Chat cares about I'm the greatest, you rock cancel that.
Oh, yeah.
And the laugh spam. They're the
Oh,
most
don't forget
common use.
Woohoo.
Of course, Woohoo.
Yeah,
And
we'll have
that-
to work in Woohoo
But
soon.
Woohoo depends if the laugh's better, right? Whichever one's better. Woohoo or laugh is
Yeah.
one or the other. There's a little look at the pounce there of this new skin.
bad the
And where's this
Bastet
going to be available?
sucks.
So this is going to be available the second week of June, I believe. Yeah, don't hold me to that. We'll have
It's
full
like- it's
information
like a month
on when
away.
all of these skins are
I
going to
didn't
be
mean to put you
available.
on the
So
spot.
weird.
You're supposed to
that
know this,
these
Isaiah.
skins now, like a
So
month
yeah, as
before
soon
they
as the
come out,
patch
you
notes
know?
go up on the website after the show, there'll be info on when all
I
of
wonder
these
why
skins
that
are
is.
available. Look at those cat creatures for the ultimate.
There's
Yeah,
got to be
it's
some
super
math
unique.
behind
Definitely
it.
different to what we've
Like
seen
if
before.
they show the
from,
skin
like,
now,
Sebastian
you get
But
hyped
still doing
for
the
it,
same
and then you
function, which is
really
quite
want to buy
important.
it when it comes
That's
out.
what-
Is that the math?
Yeah, they definitely
Man,
look
those
a little
things
bit.
are
You know, they
cool.
remind me a little bit.
Those
of.
are
I don't know
cool.
why, but something from like Pitch Black or something like that. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like one of those
yeah.
old films like that where you're like, okay, the terrible alien creatures they're going to try and rip your
Right.
face apart. And that's it for the Luminous Bastet, and that's it from me and you, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, over to Ryan we go for the last of the skins, which I don't know how many's left, but let's go,
lot.
Ryan. Keep
I
going.
think there's still a lot left.
More to
You
come.
know?
Thanks, Hindu and Isaiah. Talk about these skins. We've got Tina still here, but we've got Chris and Chris. And we've got Chris M and Chris L. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't know I don't know which one is which. I'm sorry, but
That's fair.
I'm just gonna keep
Okay,
it as
more
Chris
people,
and
more
Chris.
people.
I think that's the way we should do it. And I want to get right into this one because this is one that I've been excited about since it was teased the other day. Touchdown Vamana.
Yes.
I had the
This
pleasure
kid
of,
looks
of
good.
meeting Kelvin Benjamin, who's a huge Smite fan. He came
Smite
to HRX and all that
helmet.
kind of stuff. He came and did an interview with us here at the Skillshot Studios. And he was telling me he loves Vamana. And I love that we were able to incorporate,
That's
you know,
interesting.
a celebrity Smite fan. But also, I mean, it's a natural fit, right?
It is.
It's a natural fit for
sure.
Vamana.
Yeah.
Let's take a listen to the voice pack here first.
Hey, don't worry. I got the big money plays. Trust me. I'm gonna tackle you so hard, you're gonna be crying big boy tears.
I already love it, actually.
What kind of tea do football players drink? Penalty. You kidding? I know, because I'm so funny.
Yo, this guy's voice is so good.
Yeah.
He has
That
a
was,
great
that's a good one.
voice. Oh my
Touchdown,
goodness.
Vamana. Dude, that animation
I
is
know,
sweet.
cool.
He's stiff
Wow.
arming his way through the team fights.
Is that turf
Look at the
though?
ground. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
turf. That's like a football field.
Man, that is so awesome. I love that.
That
That,
is a
that was the
good-
big thing.
that's a
That
good
a completely
animation.
new one. And that, I mean, as we said, it's kind of a natural fit. But to put that football sort of spin on it, I imagine was a big deal for the art team as well.
Yeah, yeah, it was super important that we make it fit him as a character, but also it fits really well. That football throwing is awesome.
It's actually
He's got a full
perfect.
spiral, by the way.
That actually makes so much
My
sense with the
man.
ability too.
My man
I
can
want
whip
to
it,
kill
for
somebody
sure.
with a
That's a
football
great
and
throw.
Smite.
I want you to
Can
know
you
he's
imagine
bigger
a
in
god
real life,
just getting
like
pegged
Kevin
in the back of the
is
head by a
bigger than-
football and they
Yeah,
die?
Yeah, Kelvin
he's
is-
like
Oh,
he's like
man,
colossal
that's
fury.
Very,
God
I
size.
had to like look. He's like a whole head and a half taller than me.
This is
Like
Kelvin
that
Benjamin.
is Kelvin. Yeah, that is Kelvin right there.
This is him. Sporting Kelvin's
That's
number as
amazing.
well, the number 13. It's just so sweet. Tina, it says
love
here
it.
that he helped write this voice pack as well.
Yeah. So we sat in a room together, and Kelvin and Bree, his wife, like we just went over it, and
That's so funny.
he read my lines. And the thing is, like, I'm not American, so I don't know much about football, and
Sure.
he helped like explain a lot of things, and then like added his own little flair to the skin and the voice. So
That's
It was
very
great.
cool.
Yeah. it was
That's very
awesome.
cool. Let's take a look at the VXG. I think we do have one of those.
I like it a lot.
Oh,
that's so
Nice.
cool.
That is really
That's how you flex
good.
on him.
Dude, that
That's
is
so
sweet.
good.
Kelvin Benjamin,
So
of course, a wide
good.
receiver in the NFL and had a very storied college career, which many people around here in the SEC world of
love
college
it.
football
I love
are either
it.
very happy about or still very salty about. A big catch for him in a big game. But hey, you got to live with it now, and you're going to be seeing it in all your Smite games with touchdown Vamana.
I love
Amazing.
it.
I absolutely
like
love
it a lot.
All right, here's the other one that I've been very excited about. Have I said that enough yet? This update show?
Oh yeah.
Might give me a
this
play
is
some
so
more
good.
mana, actually.
Freedom Overload Poseidon.
Oh my
Yes.
god,
I can't handle all the freedom.
God.
Where do I put all of it?
There
I'm
is a
holding
lot
all
of
it.
freedom in
There's
this
nowhere to put
picture.
it all.
That
Run
is
it
true.
over.
It really does.
Just an
let's take a look at it
incredible
in game
amount of
before
freedom.
before we look at the abilities.
Want you to join my team, Team America.
He really does ride a jet, dude. And he has a bazooka.
Even you have a chance at the American dream.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you what I told that art lady. The primary colors are red, white, and blue.
I like how he's
God,
shouting
it would
at
be
me.
so exhausting. Oh man, we're really starting right off the bat with that Kraken.
and it has a different pose like every
no
time.
way!
It's like
They're
three
lying.
different
Oh
poses. Yeah.
my God!
See?
There's literally no way that this
See?
is happening.
That is
It's so
incredible.
good.
Oh, this is truly incredible.
I love it. Oh man, that
As
fighter
it turns
jet
out, I
Yeah,
can
dude.
is
only
sweet.
play
Does that also, yeah, it's got a
Poseidon
little
for the rest
curve
of my
to it as
life,
it
folks.
flies.
So we are
And
a
that's for the
Poseidon
player
only
only,
stream.
the takeoff at the end, right?
So begins the path to 50
Oh,
stars.
really?
Oh, anyone can see
This
that.
is
Oh,
incredible.
That's sweet.
Never have I
Didn't take
ever
long for,
been just.
well, I guess you got through the first
Oh,
section.
boy.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yo, my
I was
nipples are
really
hard.
excited.
Look, oh
Yeah.
my God, the stars,
just-
the firework
I'm
goes
overwhelmed.
off. This is
Instructions
incredible.
were to just make it over the top.
Yeah.
So,
This is over the
you know.
top.
Our
Well, I think you got
instructions
I
were
don't know,
to
it's pretty
make it
subtle,
over the
Chris. I mean,
top.
it's like, what is he really like?
Oh God,
That's
it's
my
just
question.
so good. That ultimate is actually so good.
Too much freedom.
I love how the body of the chicken is like a man
Okay.
body.
That's a bald eagle.
And then
Wow.
like
Okay.
a yeah, a bald,
God,
yeah.
You are
this could be the
American.
best
Yeah,
skin
that's
ever
the
put into
head
Smite,
is
right there.
Like total chicken.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I
eagle.
should be like
we just went over
aroused
this.
or if I should be not aroused. I don't know. It's
Let's
really
do neither.
weird.
I'm not going to tell you
Let's do
anything.
But
dude.
he's
It's your
just
choice.
he looks so good.
Should I be
It looks
aroused
amazing.
or
Over
not
the
aroused?
top certainly
Tina,
worked out for
you
me.
know what? This is the one time I can
on
admit
that
it.
one.
You
Okay, we got,
should
we got
be
some
Next.
Battle for Olympus reminders
aroused.
before we go into these next few skins because those
You
last
should.
few. Let me,
That's a
get the
fact.
clarification there. That is the Independence
Okay.
chest that those last two skins will be a part of, both Touchdown Vamana and Freedom Poseidon, whatever it was, Freedom Overload. You know what I
My
mean.
goodness.
Now these next few are going to be part of Battle for Olympus. So some reminders that if you want to get that Tier 5 Winds of Kukulcan, Winds of Change Kukulcan, thank you. You have to get everything that's in the Battle for Olympus, but don't worry. All the skins from that will remain available for direct purchase after the event is over. So you will
My
get
goodness.
18 permanent direct purchase skins added to Smite over the course of this event. So those will stay for a long time. But if you want to get that Tier 5 Kukulcan skin, jump on them as they're coming out. That's my advice to you. All right, let's get into it then for Cove Queen Noir.
This is the only skin
one's
that
your
I
favorite,
wasn't
Tina?
super pumped
One
for.
of my favorite. No,
But maybe
actually
I'll be
my
wrong.
second favorite.
Have we already seen your favorite one?
Not yet.
Not yet. Great tease, Tina.
So-
You're doing a great job. Let's look at the Cove Queen Noir in game.
Welcome, land dwellers. Let us guide you through the currents. I will not let you terrorize the citizens of Atlantis. Where do mermaids see movies? At the dive-in.
Oh, okay.
That's
He
where they
looks
go.
so good.
Yeah, this is
It's amazing.
amazing. It fits really well too. I don't know, the watery themes kind of fit with Noir. Yeah, this little water looks great for
She
the
used to be a
fog.
snack herself, so.
It's true. It's true. It's kind of easy.
Throwback.
Yeah, exactly. For her to go back.
I think
to
at
the
one
tail.
point we wanted to use her old model to for the tail,
Well,
but I
we were
don't think
thinking
we
about the
ended up
old rig.
doing that, right?
Yeah, it's a new rig.
Okay.
Completely new one here for New Wa. I mean, Medusa has a mermaid skin. Wait, they're actually mounted.
Yeah.
Little
It's
melted
okay for me.
fish.
The fishins.
I have to compare it to
Fishions.
the
That's
super
stupid.
annoying
That's
skin
it.
for
I think I
Nuwa
called them
because that's my
fish guards.
favorite one.
Look at them go.
Fissions is better.
The Murlocs
Yeah,
are pretty
Fishions.
high
I'm
though.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, fish guard is good too. It's a more official, but I mean, fish.
She's a princess. She needs fish guards.
Yeah, of course. Of course she does. The water splash sound effects always on point.
They also
And then she
actually
kills
die
them.
now.
Fine.
Oh,
It's
no.
not bad.
Like crumbling and
Yeah.
Doesn't
She
tickle my
murders
pickle like
her
the last
water.
kid or anything.
Wait,
but
that was sweet.
Yeah, she
She
turns the
was like a
water.
bubble.
sacrificial lambs, really.
Wow, the fish are just expendable. It's Cove Queen Nuwa, a tyrant. What is this?
No. She's a princess, but she, they just die for her.
It's after she shoots them, you know.
So now I'm gonna feel guilty building CDR on Cove Queen Nuwa because I'm just killing more of my loyal servants. I love it. Okay, Howler Demon Hunbats. Next
There
up
we
on the
go.
list here.
That's a skin right there,
This
baby.
one, I mean, I know people have been very, very excited. Man, that minion is really terrifying.
Yeah,
right?
Running away.
He
He's
My
even
man.
snotting out of
Can
his
someone
nose.
get this guy a tissue? I mean, I feel bad for him. People have been very excited about a new Hunbat skin. It's been a long time since
long
he's had
time.
one, so this new direction is something that I'm excited for. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Howler Demon Hunbats.
I do very bad things, and I do them very well. Should I give you a demonstration? Why aren't I going to have some fun with you?
That's scary. That's scary.
Your mother was so ugly, they expelled her from the heavens and said, "Be gone, demon!"
Okay.
Dang, really?
Why is he
Yep.
like,
pretty
it's
rough.
just Mother's Day.
Sorry.
Ooh, that's a cool one though.
I mean, this direction for
I like that
Hunbats
sound effect
is,
on
is
the
very
one.
different than anything else that he's had. I mean, as we mentioned, it's been a bit since his last Hunbat
Yeah.
skin. For you guys on the art side, what were kind of your first reactions or
I
thoughts?
want
when
to see the
designing this
ulti. That's what's gonna make it or break it.
Take it, Mr. Demon
One,
Lover.
Chris.
Because the
Demon
2 and the
lover,
3
what?
don't
Okay.
really do anything on Hunbats, but
You go, dude. What's up?
Yeah, basically we were just going for a demonic look to him, which was a little different than what he had before. And it has been a few years. He's old enough that in the game and in the database and things we look up, he's still called Sun Wukong
cool.
in places. He's called Monkey in places.
Yeah.
Monkey.
None of his abilities are named properly. He was actually a mess to
they're
work
cool
on,
like sound
honestly.
effects.
I think that's why we don't do skins for him anymore.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully now that we're back on the right track for Hunbat skins, it'll be that much more streamlined for the next one. Definitely a different sort of
These
theme
art
and
guys,
one that looks sweet. I mean,
You're not getting another
Green
Hunbat
monkey
skin for a while.
toss
These
at
art guys
someone.
just
Yeah.
straight up said it is
That's
hard
Yeah, I think it
to
turned
make
out
him
really well.
skins.
Very
Don't
cool.
expect
The new
another
sound effect,
one.
That's
really
really
cool.
Yeah.
The ult is really
Straight
nice.
up.
The Panicle.
The panic ult.
I'm digging it. I'm also gonna dig this next one. I think Unichrome set. We teased this
Yeah,
one.
that's a good idea.
In the last
That's
update
just a
show,
good
I
idea.
believe, because again, this is part of this Battle for Olympus event. And when I got my first chance to see it in game, I got that much more excited for it. So let's let you guys see it in game first, and then we go through the abilities.
Let's paint this town rainbow. Who's with me?
I like it already.
Did you just call me pony? I'm a damn horse. Look at my stature. Just because I'm a unicorn doesn't mean I'm wearing a uniform.
I'm gonna
This is my
pick
neon
Guan
suit,
Yu,
okay?
and then I'm gonna jump on Set's back. And
I like
we
to
are
think of
going
Set,
to ride into the
Unichrome
distance,
Set,
and it's going to
as
be great.
A really angry, cool, badass villain who just happens to really like rainbows.
That seems pleasable.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so I didn't want to make him really high pitched because it just didn't suit him.
Sure.
So he became this like gruff badass instead.
And he just happens to have a horn on his head and be a
Yeah.
unicorn. And he happens to like rainbows. If you got a problem with that, you can come
I
say
feel
it to
like
his
the
face.
very
skin,
into his
like the
rainbows,
rainbow
so
effects make for
I
a
mean, I
very
do too,
like
so-
visually
I know.
pleasing skin.
And I mean, look at his rainbow clones.
You know?
So cool. I mean, I'm still just not over how cool Set is in moments where his clones are all over the place and that kind of stuff and using skewer. Yeah. I'm about that.
I will say the clones are a lot easier to see on the skin too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're not made of sand this time around. They're made of rainbow, magic.
Magic.
Yep.
Oh my God! Look at his skins.
Yeah, there's a lot of troll skins.
That
is
is
bad.
so
And I'm a
amazing.
fan of
Who
troll
did that?
skins.
Who did
I
that?
think troll
Kyle.
skins beat serious skins every
Shout outs to
time.
Kyle.
Every
Again,
time.
I imagine Seth is a very angry man
Every time.
who just happens to really like cats. You know, and this is like he thinks that's really cute,
Oh my
and he'll kill you if you think
I like
otherwise.
We have a whole cat theme this patch.
Looks amazing. And the good news for you guys at home is a Unichrome set free as long as you unlock everything in the Usurper chest.
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice. He's
great
free.
news
Look
for
at
those
that.
of you at home. You get a bonus sweet
Look
skin
at that.
here
That
in the
skin becomes a
Unichrome
lot
set.
better
You get
once
a
you
cute-
realize it's a free bonus
along
skin,
with-
doesn't it?
As
Yeah.
the kids say.
Becomes way better. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I guess
It's
they
free
could
as
say
long
that
as you
in
pay
this
for
situation.
it.
Thank you, Chris. Pendragon King
Big brain
Arthur.
play.
God damn it.
Next up on the list, King Arthur, the Deathbringer skin, which was available through Twitch Prime. Hopefully you guys got that. Was really, really sweet. But this one is just like a whole new level. First of all, this card art is
great.
nuts.
That is really
This
good
is
card
just
art, I
like-
admit.
I'm all about this card art for some reason. It's simple, but it's epic.
The Olympians were making fun of it because of it's like the meme, like
Oh, yeah.
presenting the sword.
That's right. Oh yeah, we can even meme with it. God,
Yes!
it does everything.
Yes!
Let's take a listen, or take a look, take a listen at Pendragon King Arthur in game.
A knight such as myself is always looking for more work. What do you have in mind?
God, he looks
Pull out
flippin'
your
cool.
sword.
Man.
This match needs to be somewhat equal.
If you saw that in real life, you would
Have you seen some of these gods?
pass out.
At least I don't have a head of an ass.
You know? That would be it, dude.
It's too soon. He just released.
That's not very nice at all. Seth
Not
can't
very
control
nice
what
at
that
all.
He has. Where's the acceptance?
That's true. It's not very
and
nice.
Keep an eye on that sword. Even it looks great right
Oh,
now, but
yeah,
as
yeah.
he continues to get energy, it'll start to glow when he has his first ult available to him, like he does right now. And then whenever he reaches big ult status over 80 energy, there it is,
Oh.
glowing
Yeah.
nice and gold.
Whoa.
Also, look at
Glowing
the
sword.
back, like
Oh, yeah.
whatever those are.
That's awesome.
Whatever those are. I don't
bits.
know.
Yeah, the
Needle.
sure.
Sure.
Those also will represent his energy on the skin. So it's kind
wicked
of
sick.
an
that's
extent,
That's cool. That's a
extension
cool skin.
of the sword. This is just Merlin's all about like dragons and stuff. He's got like the dragon fire and whatnot. His
I like it.
ability. This is like now
No,
they're
because
best friends.
Pendragon
Yeah.
is Arthur's thing, right? Arthur Pendragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then
yeah.
we're like, okay, well, Pendragons are actually red dragons, but since we already have a red dragon skin, why don't we make a white
dragon
dragon
skin?
with like red skin stuff,
Okay.
scales.
Red
So,
skin stuff.
that's
You
what
guys
we
know
did.
about the skin stuff,
It
right?
turned out
You know
great.
the skin
Yeah.
stuff.
I love it. Definitely shout out to I Love Tails.
I love
Always
tails.
gonna-
I love tails.
Gonna be all about this skin, I'm sure.
I know, and the Bastet one,
Yep.
and
As
the other
always.
one that we haven't announced yet.
Is it really hard to add tails to
It
skins?
is.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is. It's
It
a lot
is.
of secondary work. The rig has to have bones to support it.
Yeah.
I did just get word in my ear that, by the way, that I Love Tails has already officially approved.
Oh,
Really?
excellent.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yay!
We did it. We got there. Here for Pendragon King Arthur. Okay, this one, I've got a feeling that Tina, your favorite, is about to happen.
Is it the Bacchus one?
my
good.
God,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so
Sashimi
fun.
Nico Bacchus.
Yep.
He's a chunker.
What happened?
He is a chonker.
Like, how
That
did this
he
happen?
is.
That's my question.
It
what
was like
went on?
combination of AJ and it was team effort, yeah. A combination
but-
of AJ
Yep.
and I just always wanted a cat in the game that's really, really chonky because I really like chonky animals. And so we were coming up with Bacchus skins, and I'm like, what if we make a fat cat? And then everyone's like, I don't know how well that'll do. And I'm like, can we just try see concepts? And so they came up with awesome concepts, and this
The
came
story
out.
just keeps on going.
here we are.
And here we are.
And
I
here
think
we are.
specifically one of your drawings influenced the direction
Oh yeah,
heavily.
I'll post that on Twitter later. I actually drew like what I imagine in my little brain, big brain, what it would look like.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Galaxy brain.
Yeah, we'll let Tina rest her big brain for a second.
There you go. That's a good,
chance
good
to
idea.
Look at this in game and listen to the voice.
Probably a good idea.
My quest is to find the biggest,
Holy.
tastiest, most legendary fish in all the land.
He is a bit of a chungus.
And then eat it.
Oh my god.
I will not hesitate to slap you with my tuna. The world can't be flat. If it were, not only would all the fish fall off, but cats like me would push everything else off it too.
There you go.
Flat Earthers resign.
Yeah, wait one sec. He hits you with a fish?
Checkmate, Flat Earthers.
I don't care about
This
the rest
is-
of the skin. He auto-attacks you by hitting you with a
First of all, I
floppy
do have to
fish.
ask, can you explain to
That's
me
it.
the difference between
That's it.
chunky
That's all I
and
needed.
chunky?
I want to kill somebody by slapping them
Chunky is like
with a
tuna.
fish.
Like there's chunky
Bam!
tuna. Yum.
Okay.
Well, bam!
Chunky
Can you imagine? You'd have to
is
delete your
like
Smite client.
Fat.
You'd have to.
Okay. So
You okay there, tuna?
Chill out.
That's
please.
called tuna?
if I'm eating it, it's chunky.
Yeah.
If I'm not eating it,
We're on a
it's
fish
chunky.
thing right now.
Yes.
We're on a
Okay.
fish thing.
Exactly.
I'm
Okay.
glad I'm on the same page now. What is it? What is he knocking up here with the?
God.
There's like some like mud effects. I guess because he's in the water a lot fishing
Yeah.
for tuna.
Fish guts, I
Yeah,
guess.
there's
I don't
fish
know.
guts.
See, they're saying tuna too. It's all coming
yeah.
together.
Look at this burp. It's like there's fish burping out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
Man, he ate a lot.
Yeah, he ate a lot of fish.
That's a
Because
lot.
he's chunky.
He's not going to be chunky anymore if he keeps
You don't
doing
get
that.
chunky
We don't
by
mess
by
around,
not
dude.
eating a lot
Well,
of
he's
fish.
maintaining at this point, right? He's gotten there.
This is his prime body.
Maintaining.
Yeah. This is
BPM.
what this
Premium
Is, you may not like it. This is what a chunky cat looks like. Get used to it. The fish
I
as
like
a
it.
weapon, very different than the static. You
I
know,
love
It flops
meat.
The fish
around.
is what
It's
makes
floppy.
this skin for me.
Really,
It's not even
truly.
close. Like,
And when you
that's the
hit
fish.
someone, it's like
Yeah, we had to fight for that fish, but all I wanted for this skin was to be able to run around and hit people with a fish. And
That
we
seems-
finally got it.
Seems like
Me
we
and
got
this
it.
guy
and he got a
have
tail
soulmates?
too, by the way, which is like he was talking about was really hard to. We weren't
yeah.
sure if we were gonna give him a stubs, like a little stubby stub, or if we're just gonna go on full tail. But we decided full tail.
There he is
Sick.
in all his chunky glory. I love it. That is Sashimi Nico Bacchus. Okay, next up we have
All right.
Seraph Horus. This is one.
sick.
This is absolutely epic. This is when you get
Okay.
all 6 skins from Chapter 2 of
Rightful air chest.
Battle for Olympus. Yeah, the
All right.
rightful air chest. You unlock this exclusive Seraph Horus skin. I love skins
Okay.
like this. I mean, like the overwhelming splendor, that kind of stuff. This is only a preview. We only have the card art here for you
rest in
today.
peace. That's all you get.
But I can't wait to get a chance to
That's all
see
you
this
get.
one in game. Tina, I mean, I think it looks great.
All right.
Oh yeah, it is phenomenal, dude.
Dang.
So this guy. Oh man, there were quite a few concepts with this one. Oh,
Oh, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Holy
AJ, when did you
How's
get
AJ?
here?
Oh,
Magic.
we traded 2, so it confirmed 2 Chris's equals 1 AJ. I guess
Oh,
is the
okay.
math that I just worked out.
How come it's so
over
much
there, 'cause that's what we
darker
traded
over
out.
by Acro than
But
everybody
AJ, you're not
else?
here to talk so much about Seraph Horus, are you? We've got some different stuff to talk about.
Oh.
No, we're here to talk about the final reward for the battle for
okay.
Olympus. The Winds of Change Kukulcan,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
Tina and I have been working on, the design and the background, the story, the theming, the voice acting, the casting, the matters of
Everything.
changing that he will do, all of those things, and working closely with the art team to kind of bring it all together. So
Okay.
we're really excited. We're going to show off very clear images of what he looks like, because we showed a really cool teaser image.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of mystery, I would say, in it. That was probably the reaction I got. People were like,
Mystery.
this looks cool, but what exactly am I seeing?
Well, you're
Sure.
about to find out.
So now we're going to give you guys a clear look at that.
Well, it's time to find out then. So let's take a look at the 3
I'm in the
forms,
way.
and we're going to go more in depth on each of these 3
Not in the
forms
way anymore.
in just a moment. But it's Celestial, Life, and Void. So I'm
Right.
guessing it would be in order here. It'd be Void,
This is
Celestial,
interesting.
Life.
Correct. So in this scope of this skin, Kukulcan has a revelation as a god and kind of ascends. He learns about the cosmos and the infinite
doesn't even
truths
really
of our
look
universe,
like
and that
Kukulcan.
things are always being created and destroyed,
Honestly.
and life is trapped in the middle, and that he kind of learns more about what it means to be a god.
It's definitely
And that's kind of
very
how
different.
we arrived at
I
this
couldn't have
skin.
told you that was Kukulcan.
Gods
Honestly,
are
go look at
often
the card art
on
or
Earth.
whatever.
They are gods of things like lightning or fire, but what does it mean to be a god of true creation and destruction? Planets coming into arrival in the universe and then being destroyed through black holes.
Man, I mean, Bacchus just confirmed to me that the world wasn't flat, AJ. I can't have all of this at the same moment.
Unfortunately, Neil deGrasse Tyson declined coming on this show with me today, but he supports these theories.
How dare
let's take a look at Celestial first.
How rude of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Again, a reminder that this Kukulcan skin is the final reward
I like that form
for
a
the
lot.
Battle of Olympus event.
Doesn't
so
look
make
at
sure you
all
guys
like
stay up to date on
Kukulcan, but
that.
it's cool.
So Celestial is the positive end of godhood, right?
Right. So this is the optimism, the creation, the beginning. This character doesn't seek to control others. He just understands. It shows part of Kukulcan's understanding that things get set in motion and things have their own choices, and you create stories for them to tell themselves. People are in control of their own destinies, right?
So where would you rank him in like the Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
No,
yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, the celestial form is more of the lawful good.
Okay.
He's generally a good guy, maybe lawful neutral, depending on this like kind of stark optimism. Could even come off as like a little bit naive. Because that's what you can often think of people who are so optimistic, like that. Even when things are going, maybe I wouldn't necessarily say innocent, but he even when things are looking their bleakest, Celestial Kukulcan thinks things will probably work out.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I need him on my side.
Yeah, seriously,
Or on
a
my
little bit of
shoulder.
optimism would go a long way. All right, how about the life form here? I suppose
The life form is our chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Life is all about struggle, right? Life is not
That
something
looks
that's
really
easy.
cool. That one looks really
for
cool.
beings and
I like it a
organisms
lot.
to live on these planets. They had to survive crazy conditions, dinosaurs, meteor strikes.
That's got some
global warming,
some nice stuff,
etc. But life is the thing that life represents, and often nature
like
and
that
lots
skin.
of
That's a cool one.
popular culture books is persistence, right? Like the beautiful photo of a tree growing through the cracks in the concrete, right?
Okay.
Life finds a way.
Rebirth.
Life
right?
Finds a way.
So this Kukulcan
Life
is more
finds a
passionate
way. Thank you,
and
Aggro.
emotional, and focuses
Life
on its
finds a
tenacity
way.
and its persistence.
I love
as
it.
possible.
I love it.
Okay. And that leaves the void form. This one.
That was a good
more,
panda aggro.
Maybe not so nice, I would say.
Not so
maybe
nice.
Not evil either,
Not
but just
so
kind of
nice.
understanding that it's resistance is futile
Right.
in a way.
Pessimistic, nihilistic, not necessarily mean, but could come off that way.
Sure.
Things are meaningless because in the end, we all return to the void.
The new Hades skin looks like he would get along very well
with this guy, right?
with this guy. Yeah. Like
No, but
it's all-
Hades still heavily relies on life and death. This
That's
is
true.
beyond that. This is
Okay.
nothingness.
Oh, so he's like
This is
Dr. Manhattan.
Sure. I'm not super familiar with that character, but
yeah, me neither.
I
He
trust
just
Tina.
doesn't. He's just like so beyond it that he doesn't. It's like life is like so minuscule.
Exactly.
Okay.
So more importantly than
I know
their
Dr. Manhattan.
personalities and
That's
their
a
themes
Watchmen
is their
thing,
visuals.
I
That's what we want to
think.
show
Sure.
today. So that original teaser image that we
That's all I
released,
would know.
that showed the helmet, the head of each of the three
Unless I
forms.
was
and here
wrong,
we're
in
showing
which
the
case
whole
then I
bodies.
didn't know. Okay.
And one of the really
I
cool
was
things
right.
about Kukulcan
Got
as a
him.
floating god with a lot of movement to him,
Yeah.
we have a lot of flexibility on how we can change his silhouette and his structure.
He looks
So really
completely
for this tier
different, right?
5, we tried to push the absolute boundaries of changing a god's silhouette and core form.
Yeah.
So all of
Yeah,
those gods, they're
that's
going
what I
to be
was
flying,
saying.
they're
It
going to
didn't
be
look
floating,
anything
they'll have
like
a lot of
Kukulcan,
movement
so.
like Kukulcan does, but as you can see, we almost gave some extra limbs to the
Yeah.
celestial form.
He's not the skinny little noodle.
And the void
The
form is
void
kinda
form
like,
is missing
like a
some and
noodle.
almost
Yeah.
almost trails
Like a
off into
noodle.
energy.
Oh, cool.
So like
Like a noodle.
I'm really excited to see how they're gonna look in
and
3D.
the
but-
nature form doesn't really have a dragon head. It has like more of a horse head.
This is lots of different creatures you can
different
see
creatures
in its
combination.
design.
Influence.
Some bird-like, some
And
mammal,
deer,
reptile.
like antlers.
Can you give us any sort of hint? Because I'm really curious about how these forms will be changing. Are we ready to talk about that at all, or is that something we're still keeping under wraps for now?
I think so.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I'm not sure if we wanted to talk about that in a
Fair enough.
separate section.
Yeah, we can hold
We're
it off.
still
Better safe than
discussing
sorry.
it, really, is what I would say. But more thematically speaking, we're going to be going from in order.
Okay.
So you'll most likely start as Celestial, then move
Okay.
to Life, and then on to Void.
Okay.
Okay.
But this one doesn't necessarily have an upgrade feel, or like it doesn't feel so linear. It's cyclical. So we want him to be able to kind of rotate through the forms more. So we'll be using that, and we'll be using a lot of that kind of space-time continuum cosmos language. Like we'll be using that as inspiration for his ultimate and for his transformations.
So have we decided, let's say I want to always stay in nature form because I like horses. Can I stay in that form?
Interesting transition.
I don't want to go into all of the details of that yet.
Okay.
But we liked how that tech worked on areas where you could manually change, and we're looking into ways to improve it or utilize it in a similar way on this skin. But it's still work
Up for
in
debate.
progress
Okay.
on that, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome, man. The skin looks great again. Battle for Olympus. Make sure you're caught up all on that because that is the tier 5 reward. Winds of Change.
Is that all the
Kukulcan.
skins?
Tina, AJ, thanks so much for joining us.
What a show, huh?
Yeah, big one. Big one. Make
That
sure
was
you're
it.
staying tuned to Smite Game on Twitter for PTS and all that kind of stuff. Also for release dates of all of these skins.
There you go, guys. We made it. I mean, pretty good changes. We didn't see any changes to like the movement speed meta, but that's also started developing like within the last like, I don't know, 5 days or something. So I didn't expect any movement speed items to get nerfed, but pretty decent changes. A lot of like MP5 changes, which I don't think are going to be that big of a deal. Like 80,000 skins, and pretty much all of them were like good to great, which is all you can ask for. So I guess open up your wallets and get ready, but pretty good targeted changes, but not a ton of changes. There was like a lot of changes overall, but it was like a little bit of assault changes and a little bit of conquest changes and a little bit of siege changes,